Never mind me, I've just died for a moment. You know, if this thing is actually wet, then it might help a cold. Much like the one where I'm assuming Yui is going to now have, thanks to, well, both Ritsu and plot. Because what else could go wrong before a big gig? But since we are rounding up to the beginning of the end for the first season of K-On!, honestly, I kind of expected more music. Although at the same point, it's quite nice to see them at that early stage where they're still learning to play together. Although music does seem to be secondary. It definitely feels weird trying to downplay the importance of tea. I'm going against my cultural heritage. But with that said, get yourself a drink. Let's begin with another episode of K-On! Is this the first time we've had just these two together talking to? I don't believe that is true or quite edible. Very nice. How many layers is there going to be? So, edible eyebrows. Putting that point aside, she confused her sister for Mugi. She really can't handle anything herself. Hopefully she's left some pre-made snacks and whatnot. Because there's no way normal Yui could make it herself, so what could sick Yui do? Go to school. I wish I had someone to care over me like that. I don't think there's been a single moment growing up where any of my brothers had that kind of attentiveness to each other if any of us were sick. Actually, my parents didn't care either. Illness and whatnot was more of just something you got on with. I'm pretty sure at this point people know about the story of me contracting pneumonia for a month before actually visiting the doctor. Those were fun and painful times. I want to see what the other songs and intros and endings that K-On! Can provide, but at the same time, I know there's only, 2 main seasons of it? Well, possibly. I didn't actually look into it. So I don't want to rush through. Four days? I don't think I've been, had a cold for longer than a day and a half. I guess that is going to leave a lasting impression. Everyone's going to remember who they are now. You just had a cold! Yep. And still playing that cute card. I forgot that was in the preview. Told you. Quite a few. What was that? Just chitin armor I saw. I don't think some of these will be allowed. Oh, she was actually wearing it. Okay. As long as Mio's not the one wearing it, she loves it. What she found. That's not bad. Of course she did. Did she destroy it by the end of the day? Just in case. I mean, she's got to step up at some point, don't she? She is the second guitarist, so she's the most fit to do it, I suppose. Wow. I like that evening sun. Stop eating eyebrows. At least I assume it's still eyebrows. Not quite a filling meal, so you need quite a few. You're not needed anymore. Does she still have a cold voice? Getting those pity points. But I got to have the day off. Why would I come to school? But like what my previously stated pneumonia, I think I only had about 1 or 2 days off school other than that. She should be ill more often. What? But, yeah, Kampaki, why is she so perfect all of a sudden? Practicing in her sleep. Oh no, they've become so distant. Oh, that makes sense. That's that's what she descends on. To think how similar that they looked. So, how amazing can Ui be? So, is there just anything that she picks up that she's not instantly amazing, like just great at? If she hadn't have already been caught out, I think that would have given it away. Her turning up. Who is that? Oh, I'm sorry, Ritsu. Wiping your own snot is one thing. Wiping someone else's from your face. Down she goes. Don't. No context needed, Moogie. It's not our last will and testament. That's not something that can be held up to, though, in reality. Especially if you're trying to actually make it big. She has to get better. But why are we still wanting to keep Yui? Her sister's so much better, with as we've just established. Did we actually learn what the band was called in the end? Was it written on the board and I just didn't read it? Huh. Life-size board game set out on the grass. She's not going to turn up until last moment. They have to be ready for all circumstances. But it's about showing off the club as well, even if it is with a member down. Those 10 minutes are going to be inexhaustible. Crab. Oh, crawfish. There used to be loads of people crab fishing off the bits near a coastal city near where I live. Whenever you go to the beach, you always see them just sitting on the edge with strings. Run! Bye! Actually, Mio, I kind of agree with you. That would be a sight that would be slightly strange, yeah. Who just fills a bathtub full of crustaceans? What, before she comes in? Okay. So that's what she was doing. There was enough time. It's fine. Worrying them so much. Soon. It's not like I was worried about you at all. She does seem like at least she won't pass out on stage. I bet Moogie's loving this scene. You might need some face paint before going on stage now. Run! Well, use her old instrument. Oh, a flying V. They're all roughly the same. It doesn't seem quite the same as the scene before, the last time they performed. Does she have full range of movement in that costume? I hope everyone remembers to sing. I can see that. No, she runs home and. Okay, fair enough. It's good to see that Mio's writing stayed the same. And it comes full circle. Her running to school. Just don't get distracted by a dog. Is she going to have time to change her clothes as well? She's going to be a right state when she actually arrives. If I could write a letter to my past self, there would be so much that I'd put in it. But the main gist is, don't worry. And she gets there and everything's finished. Don't shout during a performance. I'm guessing encore? You can at least help. But that upped her merit in the school quite a bit, didn't it? But to make someone who's just recovered from an illness run like that. And all the microphones are on, so you're broadcasting that to everyone in the auditorium. I was pretty close with my guess of the name. Yep, don't get people's hopes up that they actually practice. They've done practicing. Of course. What else would be front and centre? Although actually hearing it without a croaky voice this time. This time, Mio on backing vocals. She does have a good voice, though. I'm trying not to make any comments on her facial expressions while singing, though. You can hear that the audience are getting in on it. And there are so many people outside that are missing this experience. Where's the audience applause? Doesn't want it to end. They're all basically joining in, one bar after the other. But it does get across the point of the club. It's not the pretense as Azia thought it was of just playing music. It's about having fun together. Hence the little huddle. Delim. Not really a lot of complexities hidden in these lyrics. I could be wrong, though. They're going to go over their allotted time. Oh dear. There's too much about that which would seem like it's something that would happen to me. Becoming ill just before a big performance. Not having the things I need. Arriving late. By the end of the day, enjoying every minute of it. I wish I still had the kind of close-knit friends groups that we may have done during education. But time can be a cruel mistress. There's not really much else to say about this. I enjoyed K-On! Quite a lot. Chocolate curry nabe. And the big reveal of what you're doing. F5 to refresh, I guess. Everyone's being so mysterious. Extra episode. But sometimes there's nothing better than a song that actually has impact and meaning behind it. Wrote when they were still starting out, might not have the most complex of patterns and lyrics, but it's something that they can put their energy behind and emotion. There's too many songs nowadays where there isn't any connection because it's written by someone else, basically played by someone else. The good news, though, is that the K-On! Continues, and as well as that, Mugi's family owns a lot of stores, and Azunyan's parents are famous jazz musicians or something, so you have a lot of connections to do well. I really don't want it to end, but the next episode seems like it is the final for Season 1. It's come by too soon. Make sure you don't miss it though, and if you've enjoyed, let me know. Also, subscribing to the channel is a great way to show not only your appreciation for the show, but my terrible additions. All I can really add is my own personal enjoyment, because I don't have a background in music. I don't know the things which could actually have insight and help you with this, but sometimes you don't have to, do you? Even the layman can see when something is a masterpiece. Might be pushing it, but still pretty good. So once again, get some rest. See you in the next one. Despite almost constantly running late and missing things, my patrons are there to help pick up the slack and make sure everything goes according to plan. I am very glad that I have Sal, Raywin, Dynamite 1997, Shiwan, Stinsfire, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899, and everyone else as my bandmates. Honestly, I wouldn't change this for the world. So thank you.